Hello everyone, and welcome to our second video in the series Hazard of the Month. My name is Billy. I'm the Emergency Management Solution Specialist here, and I'm here to walk you through it. So today, if you haven't noticed by what I'm wearing, full turnout gear, we're going to be focusing on wildfires and fires in our D4H system. Again, this video is not necessarily for beginners, but it is welcome to everybody. We're going to be moving fast. We're going to be moving swiftly. I'm going to be showing you all the different features of our software at a really high level and showing you how easy it is to take a really complex scenario and break it down in our software. A little bit of background on myself as well. Because I have this turnout gear, for those that didn't know, I've been a volunteer firefighter in my county since around the age of 15 or 16, and one of the biggest fires that I ever experienced was a massive brush fire in our county. And this was kind of big because, again, we don't have a lot of brush fires. We're in the Northeast. It's not a ton of dry conditions. And so when we had wires down in the woods, we just thought, hey, it might be an active wire, nothing too crazy. That fire ended up spreading to a massive field behind the woods, where we ended up calling mutual aid on 7 different tankers in our region because we don't have a lot of fire hydrants around in our town. So have some experience with brush fires. I was on the ground with the Paradise Wildfire recovery and debris operations with the California Office of Emergency Services, so I'm really excited to jump into this and break down a wildfire in our software. So let's get into it. I already made the incident. I already filled out the incident summary, so let's just get into the nitty-gritty. Quick review just to catch you up to speed of where we're currently at. So I put the location as Chico University because that was near the area of the Paradise Wildfire. I expanded the incident, updated to say the wildfire is happening near Oroville. I established the incident command post near the Chico Municipal Airport, established the staging area, and I also set the operational period for about 12 hours. Let's go to the roles. With the roles here, I have 2 people ready to load, myself and my very handy and off-the-cuff member, John Smith. Just a made-up person I made for this incident. Gonna add in myself here, gonna add in John Smith to our Deputy Incident Commander. I'm going to set the org chart here. All good to go. Fully drag and droppable boxes to make this entire area completely collaborative. Gonna go back to roles, and I'm gonna update role location because this is an active wildfire. We want our incident commander to be accessible and ready. Set the role location. I'm gonna go to the municipal airport where I know I have my staging area and my incident location. And I'm gonna set myself in this smaller building right up here. Now if I pull up the map here, going to establish some layers. Let me take off these 2 layers. I'll show you those layers later. Lovely. Add in the roles here, and you're going to see I'm now located right there on the map. Roles are put together. Let's start filling out some additional forms. With the forms here, I already input my IAP collection. You can preload these forms, pre-make these forms, customize, and change everything. In the IAP here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this for operational period so we can create our IAP with ease. You can say op period 1 from 8/27 to 8/28. Now it's a little bit harder to type with this turnout gear because it is so heavy and on the computer, but again, anything is possible. When you're in the field wearing turnout gear and you got to enter information, that's what we're doing today. Gonna rename this op period IAP folder. Gonna load into our incident briefing. Our linked fields are already locked and loaded. I'm gonna say this is our 3rd incident for the season. Now a mapper sketch, what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna upload a photo of the actual impact. So what I'm gonna do is go to add an area. I'm gonna edit our form by going, let me just rewind that, forms. Going to go down to the ICS 201 to edit that. Right there, incident briefing, edit, change the map and the sketch. Now, let's say just for this incident, I wanted to rename it from map sketch to photo. There is going to be a variable inconsistency, but that won't break your system. Again, it's just semantics at this point, and I'm just going to write photo. Press save. So now photo is already there. I'm going to import a sketch. I uploaded a file. Here is the Paradise Fire photo that I just took from Google. Let's say I'm on my rounds and I'm just following up the burn scar. Now it is in our incident briefing here. Situation summary, the wildfire is fast moving. We have contained 2% of the fire. Great. Current and planned objectives contain the fire. Going to keep it short and sweet, but of course you can add a bulleted list. For example, you can say deploy crews, establish comms with airport for water delivery, and establish emergency shelters for evacuations. Current and planned objectives, if you wanted to make it a little bit more actionable with time, you can also do such by clicking add row at a time of this. Let's say it was at 10:15 a.m. right before the beginning of this operational period. Actions, begin neighboring evacuations. Not as actionable, but you know, we're here, we're just entering it. I'm going to load in the org chart. Let's see if it loads in. And while that is loading, beautiful, we got our org chart with John Smith and myself. I'm going to say it's prepared by myself, Mr. Billy P. We're going to say the position is the incident commander. And we're also going to say the date and time. Let's just keep it as is. Signature, which is going to lock the form. I'm not going to sign it yet. Additional description, continuing to monitor progression of wildfire. Now, obviously I typed in this here, leave some flexibility, but if you want to do something a little bit more advanced, we can go to the admin area here. And I'm going to say prepared by. I'm going to say we're going to make it a relationship. And I'm going to say person to 201. And it's going to pull from our personnel. And then roles. Another relationship, role to 201. And I'm going to have it pull from roles. So now you're going to see those values be overridden in our form here. But now I have a drop down where I can just add in my people rather than typing it from scratch. We're going to lock the form, sign and lock the document. If I wanted to share this with other people, I have printed PDF. Let's print it portrait while that's loading. I'm also going to take a screenshot of what it looks like. I'm also going to send it by email. And we're just going to select myself to send it to. Great, sending. I'm going to get that email in my inbox. And then we're going to share by public link, create public link, copy that, see what it looks like, copy in our browser. And this is what the link is going to look like. If I go back to the PDF, that's what the PDF is going to look like. Now, I'm not going to show you my email, but rest be assured, it'll just be an email with the exact same format. Last thing I can do to export an IEP, actually, first of all, when I took that snapshot, you see here I have Incident 201 Incident Briefing Snapshot. That's the snapshot, and it's an image of the form that I just made. Now, what I can do is I can take that out of our folder here. I can just say move, and I'm going to, let's say I create a new folder and say snapshots for op period 1, press save, select there, our image is moved. I now have an archive and a documentation of how I can do that. Now, of course, I can always just change the name of this. I can rename it, and maybe I don't want the time of the snapshot, I just want the date, and we're saved and ready to go. Last thing for the IAP, of course, when I go here, export all in current view, it'll zip together all of my forms in just a little bit. Of course, if you have more info, it'll just take a little while, just because, again, we want to make sure that that export is clean and crisp and ready for distribution. So now I have my fully functional IAP ready for distribution and export as needed. Those are our forms. Let's keep on cooking because the wildfire isn't going to stop for us. Going to go into the map here. Now, with the map, I'm going to show you all a few options. So, obviously, we have our incident summary, and we have our location, command, staging, roles, all that good jazz. Now, we can manually edit these different boundaries and different options and polygons. Let's say I want to make an evacuation threshold to be the street here. I'm going to just take a line, and I'm going to take it around all the different houses here for our first threshold line. Great, and press finish. I'm going to say evacuation threshold, and we're going to put in yellow and evac, and now we have our line in our system. Now, what I'm going to show you briefly as well, and this is going to probably take a little bit because it's a lot of information. We always talk about importing layers and incorporating GIS to our system. So if you see here, I have two preloaded layers. I'm going to go into the largest wildfires of, I believe, since 2017, 2018 from this file that I took, and just give it a few moments to load. But you see here I have all those red perimeters, and scars. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little bit laggy because it's a lot of mapping information. The other option that I can show you as well, I'm going to uncheck this one, and I'm going to enter in the other one, which is wildfire perimeters for all around the country. You already see the gray right there. I'm going to change the map so you can see what it looks like. You can see a lot more gray around. Whoopsies, that's super far out. Let me just zoom in here to the United States. And you're going to see already from this angle here, I can see all the wildfire perimeters across the United States for 2024, I believe. So very similar in presentation. I'm going to show you how I entered in those map layers, but again, just reassuring you that it's very easy to integrate GIS and other sort of third-party integrations with our app here. Now, where I got this information, I just went to CalOES Open Data, and here you can see I can download these wildfire layers and these shape files that then when I go back to my incident and I click settings and I click import layer, that's where I get those maps cooking. So that's maps. Now, we're going to come back to logs and we're going to start looking at tasks. So again, we're thinking about incident objectives. I already preloaded in a few checklists as an incident commander. I can start to check off certain items. I can say, yep, I am ensuring the welfare of incident personnel. I am supervising the command and general staff. Obtain initial briefing. We just did that. Assess the incident situation, still in progress. Determine the need for participate in unified command, in progress. Authorize proactive action statements, in progress. And we're going to pause right there. But what I can do to further establish these different assignments, each task comes with a form. So what I can do is I can task the assignee as myself. Time completed, we're going to say it was 10:47, approved by myself because I'm the incident commander. So you can log each of these tasks in more details, but then also from a grander view here, you can see how those tasks are being achieved. So now we are fully operational. We're checking our tasks. We have our information. We have our staff there, and we have our map in play. Let's start to get operational. Going to start with air monitoring. This is one of the status boards that we offer here. Now, of course, you can customize all these different options. So air quality is one consideration with wildfires. Let's just stick with one for right now for the purpose of time and the purpose of speed. Gonna press delete that second one, go into the first area here. Now, start time, finish time. Obviously, this is a very formal air monitoring one, so I want to think about different stations or different areas, but I'm gonna make it a little bit informal. I'm gonna go to the status board here. I'm gonna go to air monitoring. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to keep the readings, keep the sensor, keep the alarm, keep the level, status, name, position. I'm going to take off finish time. I'm just going to we're going to bound it by 1. And I'm going to take out the level column and press save. Now I just made 2 really small changes to this form. You already see them apply here. Start time, good to go. Location. And let's give the map a little bit of time to load here because, again, it's going back and forth with ingesting those layers. We obviously know that the fire is coming from this east area over here, so let's say we're taking the air reading from the Canyon Oaks Country Club. I'm going to click it right over there. And then I'm going to say the sensor is going to be, oh boy, I don't know, oxygen. Let's just do CO. Alarm, no. Status, reportable. And then I'm just going to, again, Billy P, and position, IC. So again, I'm not going to replace them, but you know the different changes we can make there. We have air monitoring. You can see it on the map as well. Let's move on to airports, because again, with wildfires here, we're thinking about massive planes dumping water across our entire incident. So let me zoom back to our map over here. Oh, it has all the layers in. That's why it's moving so slowly. Okie dokie. I'm going to take off the larger one, and we're going to stick with our current burn scar, which is going to be over towards the east here in Oroville. Great. So, let's do airports. Now, I'm just going to add blank. Now, this is a little bit made for airlines more so than airline operations, but again, we can customize this whole item. New airport, let's say it's Chico Municipal. Location is going to be in Chico Municipal Airport, obviously. Give it a little bit of time to load up here. We know it's going to be over in this right area. Perfect. Zoom in just a little bit more. And we have Chico Municipal Airport locked and loaded, ready to go. Status, operating normally. Delayed passengers, 0 for right now. Ground handling email, we can add an email. Ground handling phone, we can add an email. But also let's think about operations here. So let me go back to the airlines here. Airports, and I'm going to add something down below. Operational objectives. And we're going to have some status updates, make it a multi-line with rich text. And we're going to say, planning on loading plane with water to combat incoming wildfire and create more time for evacuations. Let me go back and change that. Evacuations. Now, in case you wanted to see my edits in live time or my typos in live time, we also have a full functional audit right here, so you can see that I just changed that operational objective, but then every single decision that I made across the entire incident would also be located in that audit section. Damage assessment. Maybe no damage has happened just yet. And actually what I'm going to do right now is for the map, just to make sure we can keep moving pretty swiftly here, I'm going to remove the 2 layers, and worst case I can always just re-import them as needed. Great. Lovely. Okay. Good to go there. Take a little while to delete. Go to damage assessment. We're going to add in a damage assessment form. I'm going to walk you through this form really swiftly. With damage assessment here, we can see that we can add in different damage assessments. And again, let me just take you out of there. Let me scroll down into our addresses here. Now, I didn't pre-prep this with my mobile phone, but we're going to do this together just to show you kind of what it looks like from a mobile capacity. So let's say we want to do some damage assessments over here. Actually, no, we know that it's coming before the threshold. Let's say it's kind of breaking past the threshold and it started to hit some houses over here. So let's just create this first damage assessment, this house right here. Let's go to address. Great. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to import the mobile phone here. So I'm going to show you a better view so that way you're not just looking at my mobile screen. Going to attach my phone to my incident live time as well. And let me just make sure we are in and locked and loaded. Allow, phenomenal. Trust it. Great. So I'm going to upload quick player here so you can see what I'm doing, just to show you what it looks like from a mobile perspective. Because again, when you're in the field, wildfires, things are changing. You want to make sure that you have something in your pocket to be able to record information that can also work in an offline posture. I'm going to say new movie recording. Okay, that is just my face. Let me change to my phone. Great. Allow. Thank you. I'm going to make my browser a little bit smaller here, so that way we can do the phone split screen and you can see everything update live time. Bring us down into here. You should be able to see the iPhone, my Duolingo 80 streak. I'm gonna go to incident management here, biometric scan. So now we are operating from my mobile phone. Let me just move my big fat head right there. Great, D4H fire. Click into there. This is what it looks like from a mobile capacity. Now, damage assessment. Let's say we're catching up with damage assessments as we are coming in through this entire event. Now, it's a little bit slow. My Wi-Fi is not too great in the basement, in the storage room where I'm currently located. So as you see that orange bar currently loading in our incident. We'll give it a little bit of time just to load through. And while that is loading, what we can also do is I can just write that right now. I know it's going to be performed by myself. I'm going to say I'm the IC, although maybe the IC wouldn't be doing damage assessments, but that's where we're here. And you can also assign support if needed. So let's say I wanted the support of my deputy incident commander as well. As we're getting towards that final load there, perfect. Let me get one more refresh in here, just because this incident has been catching up with itself since I imported those massive layers. on the map as before. Go back to damage assessment. Going to make sure that load comes in nice and clean. There we go. Now we're cooking. So we see this damage assessment form from a mobile capacity on my phone here. I'm going to be updating it from my phone. You're going to see it input in the computer live time. Going to say municipality. Going to be town name 2. Zip code. I don't remember any of the zip codes in that area. We're going to skip that for right now. Insurance coverage, no. Property, owned. It's a house. Type, single family. Home. Let's make it manufactured home. Damage description. Wildfire damage. Whole house burned down. Great. And then photo. Take photo or video of my face because we are wearing turnout gear today. With the flash, of course. That is a rough photo for this video. And now you see it on the computer here. So let's keep on chugging. Let me just close out this mobile capacity here. Let me make our browser nice and wide again. And we're going to keep going through the different items in our repertoire. Environmental damage, we know there's going to be some burn scarring. So we're going to say that burn scar type is going to be wildfire. Location, I'm going to say that it took over these properties over here. So I'm going to start by pinging it right there. Now, this is just a location for a specific environmental damage. If we wanted to make it an area, to make it a full geometry, right? I'm going to go back into the admin area, go to status boards, go to the environmental damage section, press edit. We're going to go to the location map feature, area map feature. It's going to overwrite our entry here. Going to click into there, and I'm going to say that we now have a massive coverage over in this section. Let me actually edit that. Let me just drag that. Lovely. Save. So now we have that located for environmental damage. Equipment tracker, there's a bunch of ways to track equipment across our entire software. Obviously, I also have the resource request 213RR that I also broke down from the ICS 213RR form into an actual status board. And if you're interested in that, shoot me a message in the video with a comment and I'll send you that status board as well. But equipment tracker, we can add in equipment. Let's say the equipment ID is just number 1. Equipment name is flame cans. And equipment location is going to be right on the front line over there. And equipment status is going to be operational. So now we can see that that equipment is ready to go with the oncoming wildfire from that area. Media tracker, I featured this during our civil unrest live stream currently on YouTube if you want to catch up, but you can track the different media and articles that are happening live time. Reference ID, let's just say it's 101. Date reported is going to be today. Media outlook, let's say CNN, and then URL. Let's do a quick Google search, CNN Paradise Wildfire. Great. And we're going to go there, although I think that was from Oregon, Canada. Yeah, but nonetheless, we're tracking media, article description, wildfire reporting from media, and then we can always upload more information as needed. Resource request, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. It's really just breaking down the ICS 213RR form in a status board format. So what you can do is you can track the different information. You can approve it for logistics. You can approve it for finance. And you can dominate your workflow from a logistics perspective in our software. Lastly, shelters. Let's just say in here with the shelter, I'm going to say the shelter name is going to be... Let's see what we got down here in the main city of Chico. See a track there. I'm pretty sure I put the incident summary over there as well. So let's just say it's going to be Vikings Field outdoor shelter. Maybe isn't the best, but just the first thing that came to my mind. The location is going to be Vikings Field here. Picture of shelter. If we wanted to take a picture, actually, let me do that from my phone. So you saw me took a photo already of my face from our phone. I'm going to go into the incident summary here. I'm going to go to the shelter status board. And again, just pulling in the load. Vikings Field, picture of shelter. What do I have in my photo library, actually? Let's see what we got here. Oh, great. We got a video of me backing up a fire truck. It's going to be, I think, a video, actually. It's not going to be the actual shelter, but again, showing that you can upload images from your photo library rather than just taking it live. Whatever works for your entire operation. So it's going to take, again, a few seconds to load because I think I uploaded a video. Yes, I did, instead of a photo. So if I click the video here, I don't know if it's going to preview it because, again, it needs to be downloaded. But for those that are curious, just to show you that I'm not just uploading some random file. With the video here, it's just me backing up a fire truck in a parking lot, in case you're curious, because I'm going through driver training right now. So anyway, that's where we can upload our images. Contact name, Jane Doe, phone number. We can add in a phone number. Now we can also link phone numbers. So if I gave it an area code, and let's say I just put 12345678890, I can actually click that and call someone from the actual phone, both in the mobile and the computer app. Email, we can add in an email here saying jd@gmail.com. And then we can also send an email as appropriately. Say that it's going to be a supply drop. Shelter capacity is going to be 500. And then shelter occupancy 500. We're maxing it out. Standing room, all standing room. Sleeping room, 0. And then, so I added a students field here because with the current extension pack that is made through the university extension pack, I added a student section where you can actually tie in your students from across the platform and across the campus. But in this way, we can change this to, let's say, community, we can change this to individuals, we can change this to personnel, and we can just make it a standalone field where you can actually just type in the names of everybody and keep attendance for who's coming to your shelter. Now, the last thing that I'll show you before I go into some of the other different items that we touch upon, because I know I'm approaching 30 minutes here. Logs, we can communicate across the entire channel. If I go to environmental damage, let's say I send a message saying at the incident commander, there is a ton of environmental damage towards Oroville, and that's for the entire staff. If I go to equipment tracker and I say, I don't think I have logs in here, but I can do planning. We mobilized flame cans to the front lines, and then in airports, I don't have logs again, but maybe, I think I have operations in here. No, I don't have operations. So we're just gonna say public information officer, media is at the airport, ready for interviews. Now these chats coming across our software here, go to logs, you can see them all coming over here. You see their different tags where as soon as you click on it, you get to go to that specific location. You can also filter and organize all these queries by different items and data and whatever you need to make it more organized. So with our weather here, we can see a full weather outlook for our incident location. Obviously, we're not in a current advisory or wildfire warning. All this is looking pretty tame right now for our area. But we can also see over here a little widget where I can just send the weather to my log and I can document it and we can go forward. Again, with the library here, these are static documents, another ability to archive and document different options across your entire incident. So I already preloaded in some COOP templates. I can open that there and take a look at the PDFs. But then maybe, here's a great example, from the forms when I made that snapshot right over here, I'm going to say, I'm going to export this to a PDF. Let me open this up. Let me actually save it to my computer. And what I can do is I can write here, snapshots from OP1. Create there. Now I have my document archive. You can also put 214s in here. Oh, that's from my import. Let me say new file, name, ICS 201 snapshot on 8/27, and the file is going to be from here. And now we can access that in our actual incident. So, less than a half hour, 29 minutes and 50 seconds, you saw me completely collaborate, conduct, create, and manage the initial stages of a wildfire emergency straight from the get-go. Again, the whole purpose of D4H is for it to be uncomplicated, straightforward, simple, and everything at your fingertips. Hopefully you saw that with our Hazard of the Month today. Again, we're actively taking on feedback for this new section. Let me know if you want to see more details. If you like what you're seeing, drop me a comment below. Always happy to collaborate, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay safe.